picture of Molly somewhere. We went to the Guinness factory. That was all good. That was fun.
Yeah, I went there. That's fun.
It's a lot of fun. We got.
Did they put the little clover in the foam for you?
No, on the top bar. I don't.
Yeah.
No.
They did that for me.
Did they? The first time we went there years ago, they used to give out tokens instead of what they do now, which is different. And we went to our hotel, had a bunch of Japanese tourists that were
Of course it did.
having breakfast with us in the hotel. And they're like, are you going to the Guinness factory? I'm like, yeah, probably. They're like, they dumped over like 12 of those tokens you could get.
If we went on YouTube, I could tell you a very funny story about Japanese tourists.
Probably should be careful.
Yeah, probably should be.
All right, I found Molly Malone. How am I?
It was in Germany. It wasn't in Ireland.
Can I share a picture in the chat? No.
In Zoom, I don't think so. You could try.
Yeah, there's a file. Hold on. I'm gonna show you Molly Malone. Airdrop. Mac Mini.
Where's the chat? There it is.
Molly Malone.
That's
Wait, she's not there yet. Yeah, I don't know why it's geek. Oh, because it's a
potential security issue detected.
Yeah.
In Zoom?
That's what it said.
But if you try to open it, I would say.
Well, you got to download it. You can't.
Oh, yeah, you can download it. You can't.
Yeah.
Or you can check off always trust files from the sender.
But that would be dangerous in case I send you something else that you don't want.
Yeah.
Where is? I don't see the picture. I mean, looking in my downloads folder.
Yeah, I see it. So they actually go up onto that platform and grab her.
Yeah, there's a picture of me doing it too. So you got to grab the boobs.
Oh, I found it.
But you can see how the boobs are like completely worn off from the rest of the body. It's hilarious. So yeah, that's
I'm posting in Back to the Future.
It's like a reunion show.
It is.
Next time we'll do this while we're driving, and this is what we could really make it.
Yeah.
Down at the sunset. I was gonna tell you something else, but I can't remember what I'm telling you. Anyhow, yeah. So we'll do Chicago more, and we'll figure out what to do next.
Where's the?
Right. That.
Show notes. There they are.
I didn't get show notes. I'm just annoying
Oh,
it.
excuse me.
I sent it to your Gmail account.
No, I got it.
I never did.
I'll get you. I'll put the link in a minute.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna have fun just winging it. Yeah, whatever you guys say. It's all good.
Hold on.
We gotta talk about my Apple cloth though.
We both do.
Is it in the notes? Good.
It's in the notes.
I can't talk about my MacBook Pro, my 14-inch, because it's the wrong show, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really nice. And I think it's fast. I wouldn't know. There's nothing really I'm doing with it. I play games and stuff. What do you do with it? Play games and stuff.
Yeah.
Friends.
That's what I need 14 core CPU for.
Yep, that's pretty much.
Or a GPU.
I'm getting a work one.
So it's going to be locked down now, but it's still pretty nice. Are you is it a 14 or 16?
14.
Good. You can't carry. I looked at them. So I bought the MacBook and it was delivered to my house while I was in London. So
And they delivered it?
Yeah, my parents were here.
Oh.
And actually they were delivered either way because they don't worry that the signature thing doesn't matter anymore with COVID. They just drop it off anyways. But I went to the Apple store in Regent Street in London and
I saw that.
And 16 was huge. I'm so happy I didn't get the 16. It's just too heavy.
Okay. We're posted on social media. You guys ready?
Ready?
Well, you didn't send me the notes, but I'll do
Oh
that.
shit. Hold on.
I'll just
No, you need to do that.
don't tell me what I need.
Please.
Tell me what you want, what you really want.
Here, I'll just put them in Zoom. There you go.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Where is he? Okay.
All right. Let me get audio hijack started here. We're recording audio hijack. Bring my notes up. 176. Intro. All right. Let's do it. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome to episode 176 of In Touch with iOS, a podcast that talks about iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple TV, and related technologies. I'm your host, Dave Ginsburg, and my co-host, Warren Sklar. He's back. How you doing, Warren?
Cold. Came back from Europe and it turned to winter. It was summer when I left. I had the heat on for the first time.
Yeah, it's cold here too, but it's cold all across the country. And speaking about other parts of the country, Guy Searle's back on the show. How you doing, Guy?
Oh, hello.
He's cold.
All right, you're cold too.
I am cold. It's been like in the 30s when I leave here in the morning.
You're cold,
Tomorrow
but
there
you're
will be a guy's daily drive
I
tomorrow.
was to say, yeah, well,
Mondays and Fridays. I'm trying to get on like a regular schedule with that.
It's not bad. 2 days a week. Can't beat it. But got some news stories up this week. Always something going on in the Apple world. Beta's still going on, and Warren and I have our polishing cloths. To hold that thought, and you'll find out all about that just in a little bit here, and some tips and all the other fun stuff here. So let's just go ahead and jump right into the stories for this week. Back rumors: Apple discontinues Power Beats, Beats Solo Pro, and the Beats EP following the launch of the Beats Fit Pro, which is the in-ear ones. This past week, Apple has discontinued several of the older Beats headphone options, including the $150 Power Beats, $250 Beats Solo Pro, and the $130 Beats EP on-ear headphones. They're not listed on the website anymore, and they're gone. And who knows what Apple's going to be doing with Beats going forward? I'll at least have one pair that compete with the AirPods, which, of course, the AirPods third gen came out. What do you think, Guy?
I would love to find a pair of Bluetooth headphones that worked well as Bluetooth headphones. They all seem to work really well with portable devices, with phones and tablets and things along those lines. I cannot find a pair that works reliably with my Mac. And I've tried the Fun. There was a company called Fun that makes similar to, the Apple ones, and they didn't work that well. And of course, the AirPods and AirPod Pros that I have just break up every time I try to use them, which is why I use something else for monitoring when I'm doing podcasting.
Makes sense. What do you think, Warren? I still have a pair of the Beats headphones that I got for free when I bought my Mac a number of years ago.
Well, I like Guy, I don't use the AirPods with my Mac because of the problem. So actually, I'm using just my speakers now because it's nobody's here. And it sounds pretty good. But so am I reading it right? There's no over the ear Beats headphones being sold at this point?
Doesn't seem like it. Nope.
So the Apple's only option is their AirPod for over the ear.
AirPods, not Max, so over there.
All right.
Yeah.
So my feeling is I would expect in the next month you'll see a launch of a new Beats over the ear headphone.
It would make sense.
That's my
guess. They're just kind of phasing out the old stuff, getting ready for the new, just in time for the Christmas season.
There'll be some out. Yep.
Next story here. This is a report. 9 to 5 Mac. iPhone and Apple Watch to add new crash detection feature that auto dials 911. Like we haven't been doing that before. Apple is set to add a new crash detection feature to the iPhone and Apple Watch as soon as next year, being 2022, according to a new report from the Wall Street Journal. The report explains that the feature would auto dial 911 when a car accident is detected. Using an iPhone and Apple Watch that Apple devices have already detected more than 10 million suspected vehicle impacts. The feature will work by measuring a sudden spike in gravity or G-force impact. The report says, and Apple has been testing this feature for over the last year. What's going to tell me that there's going to be some false 911 calls with this?
I'm trying to figure out, how do you test a feature like that? Okay,
Yeah.
get in that car right there. And yeah, don't worry, everything's going to be fine. We're going to smash it into that brick wall. Okay, here we go. Bam. Okay,
Yeah.
it worked.
Yeah, like they're showing the picture. It looks like you've taken a hard fall.
Yeah.
I've seen a commercial where a Google or Android phone has this already, because there's a commercial out there where a guy's gets in a crash and calls Google calls. So I don't know which phone it is, but if it's Google, it probably crashed before the car crash. So that's, I don't. Other than that, it should be a good feature. I'm too scared to turn on fall detection. This scares
me
a little
too.
more. Like I'm scared I'm going to call 911 if I don't really fall. I don't really want to call 911 if they think.
Well, have either of you ever accidentally hit the emergency call notification?
Yeah, on the phone a couple times.
Yeah, I did it one time, didn't realize it, and the next thing I know, I'm getting frantic calls from not only from my two boys that aren't even in the house, but I could hear Tracy come thundering down the hallway. Are you okay? It's like, what the hell's going on? I'm fine. What's going on? I somehow managed to accidentally hit it, and it times out if you don't do anything to stop it.
I do it on other people's phones when I'm trying to troubleshoot, or like a frozen phone or something like that. It's nothing works except calling the police, obviously, or
Yeah. I'm sure then they're very sympathetic. Yeah. Police department. Yeah. My phone doesn't work right.
I dealt with it in business. I dealt with it in business when people dial 911, the police automatically calls and they automatically show up when it's when you're working in an office building. So you gotta be careful with that. Or you're going to be
but it has work
too.
Yeah, it has work when it works. You see in the motorcycle article, the guy who fell off the motorcycle called somebody. So.
Next story. This is a Mac Rumors Notability, which is that great app, a note-taking app. It's been around for a long time. I really like that. This app is changing its app subscription policy, and it's going to it has a lot of ticked off people because now you got to pay a subscription fee if you haven't. But the good thing is, if you had purchased this in the past, they promise. Let's do the quote unquote word promise existing users lifetime access to the purchase features if you purchase the app.
Yeah, until they call it Notability 2.
Yeah, exactly.
A whole brand new version.
I thought they did about face today. Is that current?
This is saying following an outcry from its users, Notability says it'll make changes to the controversial app. This is a Mac Rumors yesterday as we record this. And the policy ensures that people who are previously purchased the app retain lifetime access to all current features and content. Mm-hmm. The course correction was announced by the company on Tuesday, the day before this, in a Medium blog post after the popular note-taking app had received substantial blowback from users who were annoyed to learn that Notability switched to a subscription model meant features they had purchased would stop functioning after 1 year. So a lot of a bit of about face here when it comes to an app developer. This is a huge app. Let's face it. Notability is a very, very, very popular app on the iPad, especially, and it works really well on the iPad. I remember talking about this app at MacStock a number of years ago when I did my presentation on note-taking apps, and a lot of people talk about this app. So not surprised that they had to give in because social media was killing them. What do you think, Guy?
I basically just use Apple's Notes app, and that goes across all of my devices. And I remember using other similar applications, and because they weren't native to the Mac OS, something Apple would make a change and something would break. So in cases where I need to have some kind of application that's going to work across all my various devices, I typically stay relatively close to the Apple camp.
Yeah, so I use the Notes app all the time, Apple Notes. But as I mentioned when I did the presentation, you take one for the team and own some of the other note-taking apps. So you're familiar with it, but it really has a lot more robust things that you can do. It's in-app recording of voice and a lot of other stuff that it does that Apple.
Yeah, well, Evernote used to do a lot of that stuff too.
Oh, Ever what?
Yeah. Ever gone.
Ever gone.
Yeah.
What do you think, Warren? Do you use Notability at all?
No, I use Notes, just Apple Notes works for me.
Yeah.
And small developers or small, large, niche ones.
Yep.
It's not the first time I tried to do this.
No.
1Password did it a couple months ago, and everybody got upset about this, that. It's like, but you kind of feel bad for them. I mean, these people have been around for a while, and it might be people understand. It might be either we're doing this or we're not here anymore. So, and don't cry when you don't get support for your product. So,
Right.
it's a trade-off, and everybody needs to make money, and it's not we're still a country that the money talks. So I always feel a little bad for these developers who get this Twitter and Facebook backlash because
Yeah, I agree. I think again, it's a app that's a niche market. Some people like it. Some people are, like you said, perfectly happy with Apple Notes. So, but if anything, it shows that subscriptions will get pushed back very quickly.
Yep.
And then next story here: Apple TV owners can now download the tvOS 15.1.1 update. This was in Mac Observer. Apple doesn't typically share the details in its minor tvOS updates, as they're mostly focused on bug fixes and performance updates. But what this did is it actually, I think, gave it some enhancements with SharePlay, because now you can use SharePlay on your iOS device as well as on your iPad, and be able to share watching shows, through FaceTime.
Yeah, I don't think that's been updated yet for Monterey.
No, it hasn't. But this is tvOS. So,
yeah.
But yeah, Monterey. No, I think it's still in process yet. This article does show some of the updates that tvOS 15 has received, and they've improved it. I think it's done real well. What do you think, Warren?
Just assuming my TV did the update, because I certainly didn't do it.
If you have it set for auto update.
Yeah. Yeah,
I do too, but I always go in, like, when I see it's announced, I go right to the TV and I run the update.
The Apple TV, strangely enough, is the only thing that really, when you set it to auto update, actually auto updates. Nothing else really works for me, to be honest. So that one usually does it.
Usually, usually does it. Kind of hard to get too excited over an update that the manufacturer doesn't give you any real information for.
Yeah, that's what usually what we talk about, especially with beta when tvOS comes out.
Yeah,
it's like bug fixes. Yeah,
there it is. Wow, hey, 0.1.1.
What would Apple TV even do? Like, what could they even say that it did?
Yeah.
We got better content. Netflix makes better shows now.
Meanwhile, they're offering TV, as I reported last week. TV, the Apple TV app is going to be offered in Comcast's platform in the X1. So they just continue on to add the Apple TV app in every other
platform. Box that's out there. Yep. I still maintain that the Apple TV's days are numbered because of that.
Did you see the T-Mobile gets a year of Paramount?
Yes. Yep. tvOS is also, I was going to, I'll make sure that's noted here as well. Yeah. T-Mobile is going to be giving away a full year's worth of an essential subscription. I'm already a subscriber of Paramount Plus.
What's on Paramount that I need to watch?
Star Trek. Mostly.
Yeah,
New
Voyage is coming out soon.
What if I'm not a Star Trek person? What I watch?
What else? I mean, a lot of the CBS shows are on there, and you have to take a look. I find some good content on there.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have to remember that with Paramount, it's not just really Star Trek. I mean, that was the base network that Lucille Ball started. So a lot of the stuff that you'll see there is not only shows that CBS has had over the years, but also shows that Paramount made for other networks, like Taxi, I think, is on there, as well as, which was mostly NBC and later on ABC.
Lucille Ball bought was the only one that accepted the script to Star Trek. With
Desilu.
Desilu, yep.
Yeah. That's so good. That's so fun.
Star Trek
yeah.
nerds.
We'll have a link on the show notes about the T-Mobile offer. I was trying to add it because it says that there is an option, even though you're a current subscriber, you could cancel your current subscription depending on, it'd be kind of stupid if you already just started up, but I think I only have a couple months left and I can sign up for this for free for a year. So I'm going to check that out. I believe November 9th is when you can, as we record this, you can start with this. So, other story here, Mac rumors, Apple starts offering iPhone XRs as loaner devices during lengthier repairs. Starting later this week, as we record this, Apple stores and Apple authorized service providers will be able to offer customers an iPhone XR as a loaner device during lengthier repairs in the US and other regions. And this was according to an internal memo obtained by Mac Rumors. The XR will be available as a loaner starting November 4th, and which will be an upgrade over the iPhone 8 that Apple was. I didn't know that Apple was even offering loaners. I guess I have never had to deal with having an iPhone out of service for that many days, but it's not a bad deal.
No, I've dropped my phone off at the mall and they've told me to come back in 3 hours. And
it was ready.
I give them a look like they're crazy. And what am I going to do for 3 hours without a phone? But and it's a terrible 3 hours. But I've never been offered a loaner either. So.
Yeah, so this must be like if it's days of a service, which is probably very, very unusual.
Yeah, really. I mean, either you could fix it or replace it. That's usually what they do at that point. Yeah, I guess it's like when you go to drop off your car for service. You know, if you're there long enough, they'll give you a car. If not, they'll make you wait.
Yep. So it's good they had the offer if it's going to take a longer extended time. Like you and I both, I've never had been out of my phone for more than a few hours when they do any repairs. So
here it is.
Next story here on Mac Rumors, the Apple ID website gets a design overhaul. Apple has redesigned its Apple ID website. That's as we record this today officially. It introduced an entirely new look that's much more modern and clean than the prior design that was used. I will agree with that like 1,000% because that Apple ID website was god awful. The Apple ID landing page has been updated, so it's got a new dot and Apple logo design along with information on what Apple ID website can be used. Prior design was graphics heavy, featuring a large banner with people using various Apple devices. So it shows all the examples as far as that goes. I go to this site all the time because now they even improved this so you can actually see your devices that are assigned to your Apple ID, as well as getting to your security information, your payment information, two-factor authentication, all that stuff. So I thought this is a great idea. That website is at appleid.apple.com. What do you think, Guy?
It's about time, and the fact that once you're logged in, you see all of the information that's related to your Apple ID devices and all the rest of that, and that it's clean, that it's not, filled with graphics that are bouncing here and there as you move your mouse around like they do on their main landing page, which I wish they would stop doing. Thank you, Apple.
Exactly.
Not everybody has gigabit Ethernet, Apple. So. Well, so do I, but not everybody does, No,
I know.
So,
I know.
The fact that Apple has a website that as you scroll, you'll just see big sections of the page going, okay, I'm not quite there yet. You have to wait just a second. So I'm glad to see that they're starting to go to a more minimalist design as far as at least the Apple ID site goes. I hope that'll be extended to the rest of their sites as well.
Agree. Warren, you say you've never gone to the Apple ID website? I find that hard to believe.
I haven't got to it since they changed it. Of course I did.
Oh, it's change it. Okay, I thought you said at all. I'm like, wow, huh?
I'm looking.
It just happened to
Do web pages get long enough for all of the stuff that Warren has bought over the years?
That's true. because
Is there a
his list of devices is gonna have to be a mile long.
When I call Apple, when I
you
call
gotta remove
Apple,
this. I don't own it anymore. Oh, I bought that 6 months ago.
when I call
my
Apple
MacBook Pro.
support, Apple support, they're like, "Oh, hello, sir." When they look at my,
Do they really? No.
They do. Most of the time, they'll say, "Wow, you have a lot of devices with us, don't you?"
It's like, oh, you're calling about your MacBook Air. Which one?
Which
Right,
one?
yeah.
Jesus.
Anyway, this is
Which
a very
iPhone?
nice. This is a very nice looking service thing that I see. Wait, devices. How many? I could 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
Yeah.
I got a, but most of these devices.
I guess I shouldn't say anything. The poster I have behind me, and it's on the video. I talked about it last week. The evolution of iPhone, and then it shows every iPhone that was ever made. And I counted.
You have most of them.
I owned 18 of them at one given point or another.
So
at the same time.
Yeah, that's true. No.
I'm glad you guys maybe come here. They saw my MacBook Air that I just
Yeah.
sold as
There you go.
one of my devices.
Well, as you look for your devices,
just like what I did with Guy, and he had to call me saying that
that's right.
Yeah.
locked out. Yeah. All right, sorry.
As you look at your devices, next story is this is a Mac Rumors. This is a story of rather interesting, I should say. iPhone 10 modded with a USB-C port. It's listed on eBay with bids topping. Now it's $99,000. I looked at it earlier today. It was $85,000. This was posted today as we record this. Earlier this week, a robotics student, Ken Pillinell, shared a video explaining how he modded an iPhone 10 with a functional USB-C port in place of the usual Lightning connector. The USB-C port works for both charging and data transfer. So now he decides to put the device up for auction on eBay. And like I said, it's topped a whopping $99,000. It is listed as the device is the world's first USB-C iPhone. Yeah, no wonder why.
Well, for sale.
And a true piece of collection for any Apple fanboy out there. But what he did say though is that you agree not to restore, update, or erase the device, will not open the device, and will not use it as their daily device. So basically, you're spending almost $100,000 for an iPhone that you can't even use. And
there are people that would buy it, obviously.
And it says it's quote unquote just a prototype. Yeah, I can't imagine Apple isn't going to.
Well, I'm sure he hacked the hell out of it. That it's certainly not running. It's certainly not running. Stock iOS.
I mean, fanboys don't like things that other people than Apple played with or modified. Really, an Apple fanboy. I mean,
right?
Anybody could play with open up a device and do things with it, and it doesn't make it like a artifact from Apple.
Well, yeah, but he claims it works. That's the part.
But you can make a lot. I mean, I could gut out my Mac Mini and stick a Raspberry Pi in there, and then it works. I mean,
well, people have put Mac Minis into the old Cube, too. So
right, and but it's cool, and what he did is cool, but it's not. I don't see it. People spending $100,000 as ever being a collector's item, or anybody coming down and say, "Ooh, you bought that USB-C modified phone from some guy who did that."
I don't know if you guys ever heard about this, but the original hosts of the My Mac podcast, Tim Robertson and Chad Perry, took a Mac Mini and put it into the case of an Atari 2600, and it had a working CD-ROM drawer that popped in and out of this thing. I don't know if Tim still has it, but it was an amazing piece of gear to look at. Though, it was probably whatever the first year Mac Mini was. So I doubt it's capable of running anything current.
Can I bid $99,000 for it?
You can. If Tim still has it, I'm sure he would take $99,000 for it.
I would probably bank on that. Latest news. There's a news flash. eBay bids now up to $100,000 and $100,000. $100,000. That's what's at right now.
I don't know if I believe that it's actually going to sell for that because they've gone
Yeah.
through this before where
Oh, I'm
there's,
sure
like,
it's
all
going to be
these fake bids
yeah.
and blah blah blah,
fake
like,
bids and
stuff like that. So
yeah. So all right.
anyhow,
And then last story here. This was on 9 to 5 Mac. iFixit confirms iPhone 13 disables Face ID after a third-party screen repair. When the iPhone 13 lineup was first released in September, teardowns were quickly revealed a major change to the repair process. For the first time, if you place the iPhone 13's display through a third-party repair, Face ID will stop working. And iFixit did publish a closer look at this change, calling it a dark day for fixers, both DIY and professional. I mean, this has been an ongoing battle with Apple for years when it comes to repairs in the iPhone. And this is no different than any other iPhone model, I think. Wouldn't you think,
Yeah. And again, it all comes down to that security chip that Apple puts into most of their devices. That
Right.
you make some wholesale changes to it that the phone says, that wasn't there before. Then yeah, they're going to go. We're going to just not work the way that you expect us to. Fortunately, you can still get into the phone by tapping the button on the side and bringing up the passcode so that you can still get into it. If you've broken the screen on your phone, don't go cheap. Just
fix it.
Yeah, just get it fixed by someone that knows what they're doing and that will make it so that you can still use Face ID. You paid a lot of money for the phone. Be careful with it.
What do you think, Warren?
yeah, pretty much the same as Guy. I thought with the iPhone 12 they went through this too, and then there was, I could be wrong, but iPhone 12 something or 11 they did the same thing where it disabled the Face ID, and then magically after like a few months it started to work again, like Apple changed something in the code. So I mean, as you said, it's an ongoing battle with the repairs, and like I said, if you want it to work, bring it to like an Apple authorized place, and if you want it not to work and pay less, then go to these third-party places in the
And then
mall.
you pays your money, you take your
Yeah.
chances.
Yeah, you pay. You might pay $100 less, but you don't have Face ID, and that's a trade-off, and that's what you want to do. Just be aware, like on resale value, it's going to be a problem. Obviously, if you get it fixed with the Don's
and the
batteries.
Face ID doesn't work.
Yeah, the Face ID doesn't work, or if it's a crappy parts or whatever. But yep.
Well, when my family members bought my iPhone 12 Pro Max, and then shortly thereafter she dropped it and it shattered the back screen. So she had to get that fixed. But she also had she bought my old 10s Max, and that's what she had upgraded from. And she gave it to me, and that screen was cracked. So someone's got quite a track record on cracked screens. So
invest in a case.
Okay. She had and then the worst part about it, she had an outer box case.
And she still broke it.
Still broke it.
You see, that takes will. That takes effort.
with all the phones that we had, guys, I've never broken one.
I've broken one screen
on a
4S. On a 4S, I broke the screen.
I did the 4S too. I had just gotten the 4S. I was still
did the corner hit.
I was still doing a class for Apple User Group, but I got out of my car and I had it in my hand. I dropped it on the ground, and it
hits that corner, and it is done.
It shattered the back glass because those were the first ones that had the back glass. And
it's actually
I begged and pleaded with Apple, can you please replace it? And then my wife brought it to the Apple Store. I said, I'm going to need this phone first class, and she was able to get them to replace it. So. But my point was on the 10s Max, I went to a third party, because they want like $300 and some from Apple to replace that screen. So I went to a third party local place that had your iPhone, We Fix Your iPhone or whatever it was called. And 170. Yeah, exactly. $176 is what it costs. And I thought, it's worth it because the phone still has some value. So now it's got a brand new screen and it's still decent. It's still 10s Max, still a decent iPhone. So
David's got a brand new bag.
Yeah. All right. Those are the news stories for this week. So beta this week, iPhone, iOS, and iPadOS 15.2. Beta 1 is still out. This is week 2, both on the iPhone and on the iPad. Notably, it had the app privacy report. Warren, I already know you have it. You see anything special with 15.2?
Nope. Nothing else. It's
The app privacy report.
Bug fixes.
Have you looked at the app privacy report at all?
No. I don't know where do you look for that?
The app privacy report, it'll be a feature where you go into under privacy, and you can take a look at all the apps and what they're doing,
what they're sharing,
and what they're watching, and they're watching you. They did add the emergency SOS feature where you can when with a series of button presses you can get the emergency SOS to work. They do have that. And then they've did so there's been nothing really huge, like notification summaries, communication safety, some of the other stuff. I talked about this previous that they're adding. So again, it's just the next update is there. At least Share Play is available now on the iPhone, and I've played it with it. It's awesome. And I think the great thing about Share Play also is tech support for your family, because they're going to actually be able to share their screen on their iPhone with you through FaceTime on your iPhone, and then you can help someone out, as well as be able to share any media, like watching a Disney Plus movie or whatever you want to do. So
yeah, Olsen twins.
I turned on
I
turned on the privacy report, just so you know.
Okay, so now you're gonna have to start watching it and report back to us.
It starts telling you what's using what. That's what.
And again, like we mentioned, TVOS doesn't really talk much. It's 15.2 is out for that. Watch OS 8.3. Did you do the watch, or you have the Series 7, right?
Yeah, no difference. Everything's been the same.
And iPad OS is 15.2 as well. I haven't really noticed much. So, one thing I was going to note is Apple did release an update to the HomePod software, 15.1.1. That's that article here in Mac Rumors talking about that. And it was introduced designed for the HomePod. According to the notes from Apple's release, it addresses a problem that could cause podcasts to fail to play on the HomePod and HomePod Mini. The software
that sucks.
That's a good thing for the guy in Gas show.
And the In Touch with iOS show too.
Yeah.
So you can it'll eventually update automatically, but you can go into the Home app and then go ahead and actually force manually update it if you want to. So that just got released yesterday as we record this. So check it out. Make sure you get that up to date for your HomePods and HomePod Minis.
Remember, you got to do that through the iPhone.
Through the iPhone, right? Using the Home app.
The Home app settings. Yep.
So got that in place as well. So I got a couple topics here, and then we're going to get to our exciting review of the Apple polishing cloth, because I know I can't wait. Just a build for that. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. I discovered this the other day with accessibility on the Apple Watch. And I have a link here in the show notes to the support article from Apple, what you can do with assistive touch on your Apple Watch. Now, this works with Apple Series 6 and later. So if you have anything older than the Series 6, this isn't going to work for you, just to be aware of this. So what you do is you go into the Apple, into the settings in your Apple Watch, turn on in accessibility, assistive touch. And then once you turn that on, you click tap OK to confirm. And then you can do a try it out to see visual instruction. And what it does is it does things like you can pinch your finger, just pinch your finger while it's on while the watch is on your wrist, and it will do actions like it's like tapping and pointing your finger and your thumb. So you can move to the next item. If you want to double pinch, so you double pinch your finger, and it'll move back one item. You tap an item that you clench your fist, hold your hand in a fist. So it's picking up those motions that you're doing with your hand for accessibility. And I didn't even realize that it did a lot of this stuff. And then bringing up the action menu would be a double clench. So if you go like that, as I'm showing in that double clench. And you can customize them too. You can go into accessibility if you want to add things like bring up Apple Pay, or scanning or any of that kind of stuff. I was not aware. I don't know if you guys were aware of this, but I mean, it's not something we probably would use very often. But this is great for someone who has limited mobility for accessibility. They may not be able to reach over to their watch or anything like that.
What about like the double tap on the crown for people that use it for payment?
You could set it with just tapping your finger.
Oh, nice.
Tap or double tap. Yeah. Yep. So I started playing around a little bit, but it does take a little getting used to. And so, check it out. I mean, this article is actually of the actual support article from Apple that gives you information about how to use Assistive Touch. I don't know if you were aware of that, Warren, but I think this was kind of cool.
Let's go. I'm going to play with it later.
Yeah. Check her out. So let's talk about this thing right here. This is the Apple polishing cloth.
Wait. This is it.
No, that's not it. This is the polishing cloth right here in my hand. I know it is because it's in the box.
This is what they sold me on eBay, and it was.
Well,
I had to pay $30.
I am showing it on camera. This is the box. And as you see what it says.
It was this one.
I knew you were just playing those games.
But this one I got at the Apple store in Cupertino, and I'm sure I paid more than $19 for it, and I still have it. And it's a fine
probably did.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, so go ahead.
We even have a link in the show notes of an article from iFixit who actually did a teardown of the Apple polishing cloth. It's so important.
Do they sell a toolkit for that?
They did.
Oh, okay, good.
No.
Good.
Guy, how do you take care of a device that's supposed to take care of something else?
I don't know.
Anyway, it's actually a pretty solidly made cloth. It's very thick. It's got.
I would hope so for $20.
For $20, it's supposed to clean the glass, and you've probably already tried it on your MacBook Pro there, Warren, because that's what it really was intended for. But if you go to the article on Apple's website, it gives you a compatibility list, and it's compatible to every device. It says iPhone, iPad. It'll work with anything. See, look here. I'm taking it with my iPhone right now, and I'm going to take the cloth. See, I'm wiping my iPhone, and it does clear. It does actually clean it pretty good here.
Warranty voided. Warranty voided.
Is the Mac Pro cheese gooder on that list?
I seem to have 4 Apple claws now. How wild is that?
This thing has been such a phenomenon. You can't. It's at least 12 weeks out before you can buy one right now. And
I ordered it.
That is the part that just blows my mind.
When I checked on eBay, there's people on there selling them for $65 a pop.
I saw it when I ordered my MacBook Pro. Before
every minute.
Before anybody was talking about it, I saw it on when I ordered the MacBook Pro, and I'm like, this looks like a nice cloth. And it's, people like to spend money on Apple things that aren't over $300, and that's why the socks were kind of a hit in a sense, and that's why AirTags, you could walk into a store and buy an AirTag for $25.
Okay, but AirTags at least have functionality apart from just being something that costs just that little bit of money. This is a piece of cloth to clean glass. I don't get it.
Well,
surprisingly, iFixit has a repair rating of 0.
Well, I mean, Guy, an iPhone case is just a piece of plastic that protects a phone. I mean, everything has its use, and the materials, and there's reasons, and I'm sure do you think the iPhone, the Apple Silicon?
I'm going to clean my iPad right now. See how that works.
Do you think Apple Silicon iPod, iPhone case costs that much more to manufacture than this cloth for Apple?
I don't know, but
exactly.
My iPhone screen is filthy. That's all I have to say.
This is perfect for me because I am obsessively always cleaning my devices. People make fun of me for this, so
I am too.
Just have my name all over it because one thing I know how to do is make my gadgets shiny.
So that is our review of the important product release of the year.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Dave,
polishing cloth.
Wasn't there a beta out for it too?
That's right.
Can you get these wet? with the solution? Do you know? I haven't tried.
I didn't see any instructions in here whether you could or not. The only thing that was in here was
You will void the warranty if you do so.
it says safe for use on all Apple products,
Yeah.
display products.
But this wasn't the one that came with the monitor, right? They included one with the monitor, but I don't think it was the same one.
I don't know if it was this one.
What, the $5,000 monitor that Apple was
came
selling?
Yeah.
It came with the cloth for the. There was
Should have
two
come with like a
models.
roll of them, like a
No, there
toilet
was-
paper roll of those things.
There was two models of the display, and one had a more sensitive screen. I forget which one it was, so they sent a cloth with it because they didn't want you using like Brillo instead to clean the screen.
All right. So we've had our fun, and we'll go ahead and move on here. I want to talk about this app, Grammarly. I don't know if anybody's used this app before. This is an article 9 to 5 Mac that actually is giving us some information about they roll out a full new set of features for the iPhone and iPad users. They've provided comprehensive support for mobile iOS devices. So basically what the update is included is an editor for the iPhone and iPad. So it provides writing feedback on long form documents, along with personal statistics. It's checking your grammar. So Grammarly is a pretty popular app that's out there. They did add a Safari extension that brings the best of the app to any mobile web application. So it'll help you with the grammar there as well. And then keyboard access, the platform leading writing suggestions in any mobile app. But Guy, have you ever used this app before?
No, but I would love for it to get onto my wife's phone when she sends text messages, because she sends long form text messages.
Yeah.
And they're like pages long. They're pages long. And after a while, it's like, just call me. Will you just call me? But no. It'd be like, here's a text message. Here's another one. Here's another one. You didn't answer the first one because I don't know what it said. It was so long ago. But yeah, she ouch. She that's something that I think that a lot of people could use for text messaging.
Yeah, absolutely. Use this app at all, Warren?
Me no use app. Me speak good already.
Okay. All right. And then one of the cool stuff I just found today, actually, this is a new item from the great Apple or an Apple product company, 12 South.
12 South, yeah.
They debuted an action band for the Apple Watch for workouts. It's a Apple Watch band option created for fitness enthusiasts. So basically, it's people who work out or wear those wristbands, those elastic wristbands.
Yes,
on their
I wonder if that affects. I wonder if that affects like all the reporting features of the watch.
No, it doesn't, because if you look at it closely, we have a link in the show notes here.
Yeah,
you take your band off, it actually snaps in place into this band. So really, it's a band, and then it holds snug against your wrist. Then
that is really kind of cool looking. See,
it's not expensive either. It's only
for $30. For $30. This is something that I think people would use and would have a lot more functionality than, say, a certain other product that we've spoken of this evening.
I could find a seamstress that I'm sure can make this into
he
that
probably
watch
would
band.
do that too.
Yeah, I can make this into that kind of
Right.
watch band if I wanted, with the same type of materials for the same quality and cheaper. It would be $10 cheaper than your band.
I forgot to use this
me
cloth
too.
for my watch too. Sorry.
Let me just clean something.
Yeah.
Okay. For webcams.
So check it out. Yeah, I thought it was a cool product out there.
It is cool.
So Guy, I just thought about this. You just got your iPhone 13 not too long ago, right? And,
Yes.
Actually, yeah, and you got that nice fancy dancy case I gave you too.
Yeah, it's on there right now.
Which I'm assuming you're using.
Yes.
And what do you think of the iPhone 13 so far? I mean, since you moved from the SE to the 13.
One of the things that just blew my mind. It had been a while since I'd had and this isn't even like the big megaphone, but a larger phone, because I was on the SE2 for a couple of years, and going to a larger screen phone again made certain things that I do now, like, for example, the Guy's Daily Drive, just made those kind of easier to do and to handle, because all the icons and everything else are a little bit bigger. Battery life, of course, is phenomenal, being a brand new phone.
Yep.
And the pictures that this thing makes as compared to what I was using before it's night and day. Now, I remember when I was at Virtual Mac Stock with you, and you'd gotten yours on that, the one day that we were all together.
Yeah,
like that.
that's right.
And you were testing out the cinematic modes.
Yeah.
And it was like,
I love that video. I got to put that out there. I'm looking over at you and you go right into focus and I look back. Yeah, that was a spectacular video.
Lost my earbud.
So as he gets back his earbuds there, Warren, any thoughts on how so far as you were doing with your iPhone 13? You liking it?
Oh yeah. It actually did really good in London. I was in Europe, took a lot of pictures that came out beautiful. And my wife, I just switched her off from a 10S to her regular 13, not the Max Pro.
That's what.
Same one, same as this one.
And my wife was like, my wife has never like, who tries to avoid the topic of technology with me and new gadgets and things like that.
What?
Until she sees the bank account.
Well, she doesn't want to give me any ideas that she might be interested in something better than she has. So, but anyways, even her, she was like, taking a lot of pictures. She's like, this camera is like incredible. And I'm like, yeah, I tried to tell you like that, when the 11 came out and when the 12 came, but so she's happy with it. The battery life did really good for me over there. Just a tip, you could put one physical SIM card and there's slots for 2 eSIMs.
Yep.
But you can only activate 2 lines at a time. It doesn't matter. I tried, believe it or not, I was trying to get all 3 because I have my local SIM card in from home. I had the Dublin SIM card with data left that I still had on an eSIM. And then I had a London eSIM for a week with some data on it. And it's like, no, you can't do all 3. I'm like, but I want to do all 3.
I thought you could. We were actually trying to figure out if you could. 2 eSIMs and a physical SIM. Interesting.
It will say on when you try to activate the 3rd one, it's like you have to deactivate the other one, or you don't have to get rid of it. You just can't use it at the same time. So, but other than that, yeah, good stuff.
So you were saying, Guy. So you gave your iPhone SE 2 to your wife, right? And how?
No, she's still on the original SE.
She never switched. Okay, she just won't switch.
My wife is still using an iPad 3, and she complains bitterly about the battery life and that some of the applications that she wants to use, the thing will just like wink out suddenly, and it's like, will you please let me buy you a new iPad? No, this is fine. It's painful to watch you use this thing.
Yes, it is.
But I've given up arguing.
Yeah, we're in the same boat with that.
And then now you have 5G available because you didn't have that on the SE.
Yeah.
Did you notice any difference in the speeds of the cellular with the new one? And
5G is pretty prevalent here in the DC area. I guess the problem is, for the most part, I'm not doing a whole lot that's data intensive. I guess like the biggest thing I'm doing is live casting. And once that's set up, I just don't think about it until I'm done. And when I was on the SE2, it was also working just fine. So, I mean, I don't regret going to this phone, because the SE2 was somewhat limited for me.
It was,
with the stuff that I had started doing. So I'm very happy that I have this phone. The pictures on it are phenomenal. The battery life is phenomenal.
Yep.
And the only thing that I'm still kind of getting used to is Face ID, because this is the first phone that I've owned that is exclusively Face ID. So will you stop that, please?
I hear a cat.
Yeah. She begged you probably saw me get up earlier in the show. That was to let her in, because she was on the outside of the door. Scratch, 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 scratch. And now she's on the inside of the door. Scratch, 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 scratch. It's like, if you want to be in, be in. If you don't want to be in, don't scratch on the damn door.
Yep.
I love my cats.
My
Well, it's
dogs are
good.
chilling.
Good. I appreciate giving us your insights on the iPhone 13 and get a couple other perspectives since it's come out. And
And I don't change things like iPads and iPhones, iOS devices every year. So like I had the SE2 for 2 years. The phone I had before that, the 8S, I had seemed like forever. And the same thing with like iPads. If I have something and it's still working well, then I kind of hang on to it. I mean, I get that some people, like Warren's wife, for example, is somewhat reluctant to change phones because every single time you go to a new device, there's that question: is it going to work like my old one did? And that's the scary part for a lot of people that aren't interested in tech. For me, it's like, okay, it's just a new thing I got to learn how to do.
My stories with her. She wouldn't let me do the upgrade unless she found the same kind of OtterBox for her new phone. And she wouldn't let me put her on iOS 15 before this. And I'm like, you're going to have to go to iOS 15 when we do this. I think guy's cat ate something.
he's having a cat situation. Go ahead.
It's a catastrophe. He's having a catastrophe down there. Yeah, she's we found well, that's what I want to show you. Look what we both found in London. We're using, so with MagSafe now, there's MagSafe pop sockets, right?
Right.
This is what I got.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Did we? Okay, and then it snaps on there and it actually works pretty well. But while we were in Dublin, I don't know if you could see that.
Yeah.
So while we were in Dublin, they had the pop socket for London, and every other pop socket was £10 or €10. These were a pound, so
really
or euro. So I'm like, we got one for me, got one for her. But anyways, yeah. So I got her into the MagSafe. She was worried about switching phones because she liked the she never used a wireless charger, but she liked her pop socket case, which was an OtterBox with pop socket. But now she's all in. She got herself a MagSafe cable, charger. She got herself a couple more MagSafe things. So she's hooked on to the MagSafe portion of this too.
Mm-hmm.
She loves her. She loves it.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, like I was saying, a lot of people don't like change, but luckily, that's what I was gonna say. Luckily for the iPhones, they don't look that much different even before between iOS 14 and 15. So I didn't have to show her too much.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's talk a few more tips here before we wrap things up. One of the features that I failed to be using a lot of, and those of you who have an iPad who also have an Apple Pencil, is the new feature on iPad OS 15 that allows you to do a quick note. And the way you do it is you actually take the pencil and then go down to the bottom right corner of the iPad and you scroll it up. And then what happens is that the quick note box pops up here. So now you can actually write up a note, do your thing, and then tap done, and it actually saves it right there. So it's a really quick way of being able to do a note just by dragging up right at the corner here with your pencil, and it brings up the quick note very easily.
Nice.
So that's a great new feature that they've added in iPad OS 15, and I found it to be really cool. And a couple other things here. I was always intrigued of being able to save a web page as a PDF. A lot of people like to do that. Is the ability to be able to save an actual website page as a PDF, so you can go back and refer to it later. There might be some information on it.
And it usually includes links too,
and
in
links
the PDF.
as well. So the way you do this, and we're actually using I have the article here from OSX Daily, which is always a great site to go to for tips here. So what you do is you launch your Safari on your iPhone or your iPad, and then you head over to the web page that you want to, and then to save it as a PDF. And then you tap the share icon, which is the little icon with the arrow up there, brings it up there, and then that'll bring you to of course, the iOS share sheet. And the link to the web page will then show up at the top of the share sheet. Then you can tap options, which is located next to the link. And then from there, where the option says you can say now simply send as a PDF instead of automatically tapping done. And then instead of automatic and then tap done,
Yeah.
and what it'll do is it'll go back to the share sheet, and then you select save to files. It'll save it to the files app, and then voila, it's there stored in your files app. And then you have an actual PDF copy of it, which of course will sync, like you mentioned earlier, that it syncs across like the Notes app. It'll sync across all your devices, so whether it be on your Mac, your iPad, your iPhone. Now you have a PDF copy of that particular page. And that might be, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be doing like the Google page or the Yahoo page or something, but just usually pages that have a lot of good links, good information that you want to share. That tends to come in, pretty handy with that. You guys ever use that before?
No, I didn't know you could save it as a PDF from Safari. I've never tried that.
So yeah, it's a great it's a great feature. Go ahead, Warren.
I've done it on the Mac. I haven't done it from the Safari on the
so might be in a pinch. You're sitting looking at a website on the iPhone, and it does come in handy. Definitely a good thing. Another thing I can mention here with somebody have a little bit of time here is using tags in Notes. I don't know, have you guys, you said you're a heavy Apple Notes user. Have you ever used tags before in Notes?
Usually only for certain events, things like MacStock, for example,
right.
Or I'll dump emails and images and whatever might be related to that particular year's MacStock. But I mean, heck, same thing going all the way back to the Macworld Expo. I used to do the same thing with that.
Yeah,
except
absolutely.
that was with that other Notes app that has ever disappeared,
ever
gone,
never not Note anymore.
Yeah.
But they're like hashtags, just like if you're on Twitter, or you have a hashtag, so then any of your notes can now be tagged. So you just tap the hashtag, and then it brings you to the listing of all the notes that are listed there. So it tends to come in handy having that kind
and
of
password
stuff.
protected as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You can password protect Notes. I mean, Notes is a very powerful app. There's no question about it. So I use it all the time. I definitely do. And then lastly was the use of the reading list. I know you guys probably use this a lot because the reading list on iPhone or iPad and a Mac for that matter, the ability to be able to just, all you have to do is in the Safari browser, you open up a web page and you tap the little double A's there, and it'll give you the option of being able to use this as a desktop and make it as show a reader. So it actually makes you let it as a reader, and it gets rid of all the crap off of a website. Mac World is probably the notorious for all of its stuff that shows up on their site, as well as all the tracking they do.
Actually, the one that's the absolute worst at it are some of the news sites, CNN, MSNBC, and Fox.
All that. So
you look at how many trackers, like CNN typically has over 50 trackers per page.
This is exactly why I read all my articles on the news app.
Yeah.
I don't use anything else really to read articles at this point.
Yep. So you have that, and then also the other thing that they've added is and they've had it for a long time is the reading list. That comes in handy too, is if you wanted to just go back and read an article later. And the way you do that is you go in and you pick the website, tap the share button, and then it'll show the list down there that says add to reading list. So then what it does is it creates a nice robust list of websites you can refer back to later. And creates that reading list. Now, granted, some people are not too excited right now with the new Safari view where you can have open pages and you can scroll between. I really like it, and just scrolling through all your pages is just like a swipe left or right. And that's the reason why I'm keeping the URL bar at the bottom. I've gotten used to it. I don't know if you guys have, but you are using it with Safari, but. Even that is a good way of being able to scroll through pages so you can keep them open, or create this reading list and you can go refer back to it later, because again, the reading list will sync back to your Mac and to your iPad or any of the devices that are synced in your cloud. So, all righty.
Good stuff.
Yep.
stuff. And let's go ahead and wrap things up for this week. We're at the end of the show. So we'll go ahead and wrap. That's a wrap for this week. Please send your comments, questions, and suggestions to our email address, feedback@intouchwithios.com. You can follow us on Twitter at InTouchWithIOS. We usually live stream the show on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on our YouTube channel, which is at youtube.com/DaveG65. where you can also watch past streams as well as listen to all the show's episodes. Visit In Touch with iOS magazine on Flipboard, where many of the topics we talk about this week and every week are flipped into the Flipboard magazine. So check out that. We have a link in that show notes as well. You can also subscribe in your favorite podcatcher, which includes Apple Podcasts and many others. But better yet, go to our website, intouchwithios.com, where all the links to all the ways to listen to us are there. I am Dave Ginsburg, and you can find me on Twitter at DaveG65. Guy, thanks for being back on the show. We always
Not a problem.
love having you on here. Where can people find you?
Oh, you can find me. Send me email, guy@mymac.com, or podcast at vertshark.com. Vertshark.com is the website. You can subscribe Vert Shark over there on the tubes of you. And of course, the mymac.com podcast that I do nearly every week with Gaz, and the aforementioned Guy's Daily Drive, where I'm in my car and I talk while driving, which is probably a terrible idea, but I do it anyway.
All right. There's your parrot song.
There you go. Very good. Very good. I feel better. I feel better now.
We did miss that. And Warren, where can people find you?
Facebook, Mac to the Future group is where I hang out most days. Other than that, I missed the show with Chuck a couple days ago that you guys all do. I wanted to be there. Definitely interested in doing his favorite gadget show coming up. So
I've been on that for years. His annual gift guides.
I was invited this year. I'm
well, you're part of our crew of Mac Voices. So
this year I am. But other than that, come to Facebook. Back to the Future is a good group to hang out with.
Definitely. All right. Thank you so much. And I thank you to everybody listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. We had a lot of fun doing it, and we'll talk again soon. All right, guys.
Oh,
thank you so much.
I went to Micro Center for the first time ever 2 days ago.
That's my favorite store.
Oh my God.
They have one here. I haven't been there in a long time.
So